Modernism. Causes and its relation to American literature. Modernism, a significant cultural and literary movement, emerged at the turn of the 20th century, reshaping art, literature, and thought. It arose in response to profound changes in society, driven by rapid industrialization, urbanization, and the devastating impact of World War I. Modernism was characterized by a break from traditional forms and a quest for new ways to express the complexities and uncertainties of the modern world. This movement, influenced by the changing socio-political landscape as well as the revolutionary scientific and philosophical ideas introduced by thinkers like Charles Darwin, Karl Marx, and Sigmund Freud. Their work profoundly altered how people perceived human nature, society, and the universe, contributing to the disillusionment and fragmentation that defined modernism. Causes of modernism. Modernism was born out of a period of intense social, political, and intellectual upheaval. Several key factors contributed to the emergence of this movement. 1. World War I. The unprecedented destruction and loss of life caused by World War I shattered the belief in progress and the rationality of human beings. The war exposed the fragility of civilization and led to widespread disillusionment with traditional values and institutions. The horrors of the war left many questioning the purpose and meaning of life, fueling the sense of alienation and fragmentation that became central themes in modernist literature. 2. Industrialization and urbanization. The rapid growth of cities and the shift from agrarian to industrial economies brought about significant changes in social structures and ways of life. The anonymity and alienation of urban living, along with the dehumanizing effects of industrial labor, were reflected in the themes and techniques of modernist writers. The mechanization of life led to a sense of loss of individuality and a questioning of human purpose. 3. Influence of scientific thought. The theories of Charles Darwin, Karl Marx, and Sigmund Freud had a profound impact on the intellectual climate of the time, challenging traditional religious and moral beliefs and reshaping how people understood themselves and their world. Charles Darwin. Darwin's theory of evolution, as presented in On the Origin of Species, challenged the biblical account of creation and introduced the idea that human beings were the product of natural selection rather than divine design. This theory not only undermined the certainty of religious faith but also suggested a more complex and indifferent universe, contributing to the existential questioning characteristic of modernism. Karl Marx. Marx's critique of capitalism and his theory of historical materialism offered a radical rethinking of society and economics. His ideas about class struggle, alienation, and the commodification of human labor resonated with modernist writers who were grappling with the dehumanizing effects of industrial capitalism and the increasing inequality in society. Marx's ideas also fueled the disillusionment with traditional social structures and the search for new political and social orders. Sigmund Freud. Freud's psychoanalytic theories introduced a new understanding of the human mind, emphasizing the role of the unconscious, repression, and irrational desires. His work on the psyche suggested that human behavior was driven by forces beyond rational control, challenging the Enlightenment idea of human beings as rational agents. This focus on the inner workings of the mind influenced modernist literature, leading to the use of stream of consciousness and other techniques to explore the complexities of human consciousness. Modernism in American literature. The causes of modernism found vivid expression in American literature, where writers grappled with the fragmented and uncertain nature of modern life. The movement was marked by a departure from traditional narrative forms and a focus on subjective experiences, reflecting the influence of the scientific and philosophical ideas of the time. 1. The Lost Generation. Writers like Ernest Hemingway, F. Scott Fitzgerald, and John Dos Passos, collectively known as the Lost Generation, were profoundly affected by the disillusionment following World War I. Influenced by the ideas of Darwin, Marx, and Freud, they explored themes of alienation, loss, and the search for meaning in a world that seemed increasingly chaotic and devoid of purpose. Hemingway's sparse prose and focus on existential struggle, for example, reflect a Darwinian struggle for survival in an indifferent world. 2. The Harlem Renaissance. the Harlem Renaissance was another crucial expression of modernism in American literature. This cultural movement, centered in Harlem during the 1920s, was deeply influenced by the ideas of Marx and Freud. Writers like Langston Hughes, Zora Neale Hurston, and Claude McKay used modernist techniques to explore themes of racial identity, social inequality, and the complexities of the African American experience in a rapidly changing society. Their work often reflected the psychological complexities and social struggles of being black in America, challenging traditional narratives and offering new perspectives. 3. Southern Gothic. The Southern Gothic tradition, exemplified by William Faulkner and Flannery O'Connor, also drew on the ideas of modernism. Faulkner's exploration of the human psyche and the use of stream of consciousness techniques reflect the influence of Freud's theories on the unconscious mind. His complex narratives, such as in The Sound and the Fury, also engage with the fragmented nature of modern identity, influenced by the disintegration of traditional Southern values in the face of modernity and industrialization. 4. T.S. Eliot's influence. T.S. Eliot, whose work was deeply influenced by his understanding of the social and psychological dislocations of modern life, played a crucial role in shaping modernist literature. The Waste Land, with its fragmented structure and allusions to various cultural and literary traditions, reflects the disillusionment and existential questioning that characterized modernism. Eliot's work, influenced by the ideas of Freud and Marx, emphasized the breakdown of cultural and moral certainties and the search for meaning in a disordered world. Modernism was a response to the profound changes and disillusionments of the early 20th century, shaped by the horrors of World War I, the alienation of industrialization, and the revolutionary ideas of scientists and thinkers like Darwin, Marx, and Freud. In American literature, modernism manifested through the exploration of fragmented identities, alienation, and the search for meaning in a rapidly changing world. Writers of the Lost Generation, the Harlem Renaissance, Southern Gothic tradition, and those influenced by T.S. Eliot used modernist techniques to grapple with the complexities of modern life, reflecting the impact of these scientific and philosophical ideas on their work. Modernism continues to resonate in contemporary literature, reflecting the ongoing struggle to understand and navigate the complexities of the modern world.